Bias is everywhere now. Bias against men, against whites, against straight people. You see this in the social sciences that they don't do studies that make men look bad. That make women look bad. They only do studies that make men look bad. And you see this in media and news. They don't. The media avoids stories that make non-whites look bad. This is why the industrial scale rape of little girls all around the UK was covered up because it was Muslim men doing it. Almost exclusively Muslim men, 80 to 90% Muslim men. This was covered up because they're not white. There is a bias in the media, almost all the media in the West, where they avoid any story that makes women look bad or non-white people look bad. Now, why would this be? I mean, maybe they think it could stop racism against non-whites, stop sexism against women. That's not their fucking call. The thing that a lot of people are starting to realise now, but and it has always been a fallacy, is that the media, the news is there to just tell us the truth. That's obviously complete nonsense. It would be it kind of is impossible to tell the news without any kind of agenda, because you at the very least have to decide which stories to run. But if you tried to run balanced stories with no bias, that would be something. The media is not trying to do that. The media specifically avoids stories that make non-white people look bad and women look bad. And this is the toxic media landscape that we're in now. What this means is, of course, you get a distorted view of the world. You get a one-sided view of the world. You don't get a view of reality. This is why telling the truth, telling a balanced view of the world as it is, this is why this is the only sensible way we should be going. You shouldn't be omitting things because you think it's ultimately, it's for the good of society if we just ignore all these bad things women do and just show all these bad things men do. That's it's a means to an end. But it makes sense. It's moral because we know better and we know that that's good. That just leads to white people and men being demonized because they appear like arseholes. It's like a reading of colonialism. Yes, colonialism was all bad. Actually, colonialism is almost always a huge win for whoever it happened to. Whether it's the Romans or the Normans colonising Britain, they brought technology, they brought organisation, they brought plumbing, they brought better ways of farming food, they brought government bureaucracy, they brought education, they brought better transport. Whether it's that or whether it's Britain colonising the world, the countries this happened to had a huge win. There's some problems, but it's a huge win. It's just a net win being colonised, or was in the past. You don't hear this, of course, in textbooks or anything, because they're biased. There's just a bias against white people. This means people are being propagandized and taught stuff that just isn't true. And when you have this affecting the sciences, such as the social sciences, and pretty much every science now, it's like science is a submarine, and social justice, which is just social injustice, the bigotry of the far left is the water, is the ocean, and it's trying to get into the submarine. And science is under attack from every direction. I mean, science has never really been immune from any of this stuff. Yes, the scientific method helps a lot, but you also have to decide what to study. And the people doing the peer review, what are their incentives? They're humans. So peer review itself has flaws, of course. But yeah, society just has a pervasive bias now against men. Everyone is scared or reluctant to ever release any study or report, or even open an investigation or try and do a trial into something that might make women look bad. It doesn't get done. And so you just get a distorted view of the world where white people bad, men bad, everyone else good. This is just racism and sexism. It's just bigotry, and you're not seeing the world as it is. You're seeing a fantasy world. Women are flawed. Yeah. Mansplaining, well, there's womansplaining. Women can be patronising too. Manspreading, yes, women can sit with their legs apart. Women can do all sorts of bad shit that men don't do that often. The demonisation of one group over another is ridiculous. We should just base what we want to discover on the truth. We should just find out the truth and live in a world where we try and find the truth. We know how the world really is and act based on that, not based on some biased anti-male, anti-white fantasy. That road leads to hell. That's going nowhere positive. It's just not true. The Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. Please leave a review on iTunes and like on YouTube. It's essential to spread the word. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com. Your support is greatly appreciated.